Hello there everyone. This is Wayne Galea, and I'm going to be using Game Maker to make a very basic game. So I think I've shown you guys my SpaceBear game sometime in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I'm just going to create it and go through step by step how I did that and why I did what I did. Let me just check to see if it's recording. Yeah, it's recording, which is good. Using OBS, you've got OBS as well. It's always a good idea to use OBS. So what we're looking at here is all the assets for the game. That one there is SpaceBear, is the main character, and here's some of the monsters. I'm going to go through what each of these do, but let's just start with the simple ones. That's the main character, that's the wall. We're going to be using that quite a lot. We're going to be using that one, which is a monster. That monster goes left to right like that, and that's the other monster that goes up and down. This is an explosion animation here you're looking at, which is when SpaceBear dies, he explodes. Here's the ultimate bad guy, this dragon, and this dragon launches these particularly nasty things. I've got obstacles I need to overcome with these triggers, which take down these rocks. I've also got a goal that I got at the end of each level. And there's my background image, which is some sort of space background I've got. I've also got two bits of background music. I've got a beat, which I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the beat. And then I've got an explosion which sounds like that. I don't know if you can hear that, but we'll find out soon enough. So anyway, that's all my the assets for the game. So let's get into the game itself. So here's my game. I've already added this one. I'm just going to delete it. Right, so I'm going to add the sprites. So create sprite, give it a name. I always start all my sprites, I call them sprite underscore, I'm going to call it me because it's SpaceBear. Load sprite. Now I've got it pointing to that directory. I'm going to find me and open. There you are. Now can you notice this origin bit? If you click that to center, it always puts it in the middle. These sprites are quite small, they're only 32 by 32. Only got one sim image. When you get more into game making, you start to move more animated sprites. But for now it's just a fairly basic one. Let's just quickly add some more sprites. I'm going to create another one. I'm going to call it sprite mob 1, first monster. The first monster for me is going to be that guy. Send to him, bang. Let's add another one, create him, and we're going to add the spider. So your sprite mob 2, send to that. Let's keep adding, create sprite. The most important sprite of all is the wall. Without that we ain't got anything. So this is sprite wall. Notice I'm centering them all. Let's add another one, create sprite. Oops, not edit, load. So but the notes, that's what we're going to collect. Those quite a little bit bigger than the rest. If you look, it doesn't really matter too much. So this is sprite note. My SpaceBear collects these notes and gets a score for them. So there we are. Let's add another one. See what we've got. Oh yes, we need the goal. Let's find the goal. So there's the goal. How he gets to the end of the level, he gets to a goal. So I'm going to center that one again. So the collision detection is where this takes place here. We'll go into that later. Oops, I didn't call it properly. But if you forget to name it, you can always just go like this and go rename. So sprite exit. I want to call it exit because it'll exit each room. So there's our some of our sprites. We're going to add more later, but for now let's just add these. Sounds. Let's add our sprites. Create a sound. I'm going to call it beat. My main beat. And I'm going to find space bear directory. There it is, and there's my beat. I'm going to test this works. It works. I can hear it anyway. I don't know if you can. Okay. Sound. Oops. Sounds. I'm going to create another sound. Obviously, it's going to be explosion. That's how you spell explosion. And explosion. There we are. Check it works. It works. Right. So we've got a sound. Now we need a background. So create a background. Load it up, and there you are. I want to leave it cold as that. Notice the size here. That we can change. It's going to stretch. Don't worry about that. So all these sprites, we've got some sounds, we've got a background. Now we need to convert all these sprites to objects. I'm going to create the first room and see what the time's like for that, and then I might save it, and then we might just do a demo of this first level before I start moving onwards. So object, create an object. So the same again, object, and then you just basically, so you call them the same as that, you just change the sprite to object, and obviously you are going to be me. Solid, it's going to be visible. I'll go into all this later. Create mob 1, solid, mob 2. See what I'm doing with you guys? Create another object. Object. So you're going to be mob 1 done, mob 2. This is wall. And my wall, that's solid as well. It's a good idea it's solid, or we'll pass through it, won't we? Create object. Now we're going to add, we've got wall, we've got note, and so there's our note. And then we've got one more to do, and I think that's the exit. And then we can start doing a bit of development. So we've got the basics up and running. So each of these things, each sprite has now become an object. We've got its background. Now we need a room for it all to take place. We'll create our first room, room 0. Now how big do we want this room? We want this room to be 640 by 480. So we've got to reduce this down to 640 by 480. It's not a huge screen size. Background, well, we've already got background, haven't we? It's there, SpaceBear size. Now what we're going to do is we need to lay out. Remember, on the what I want is this. Well, you might not be able to remember. Just delete that. I've accidentally added him. I need to put the walls around here, and I want something like a maze. It goes round and round, and ends up in the middle. So let me quickly draw a room out. So we pick the walls. Now watch what happens when I put it down. Can you notice how they all, because I set the X and Y of them, the collision detection there, they're all set in really in an awkward place. So to line it up more accurately, it's a bit of pain to go like this. So I'm going to change in the wall here, I'm going to change it, the origin to 0 and 0. Oops, after all that, 0 and 0 and OK. And then you notice what happens? It lines up neatly there. Now, can you just hear what it's telling you? This is how we put them. So I want to put a load of these up, and I want to shift, control, add multiple. So I'm holding shift. Is it shift and control? There we are. I can add multiple now. It's quite a lot easier. And I want to put a gap here. That's where the score is going to appear there. Let's get a nice, quickly, oops, it's easy to make a mistake. So there's a general outline. Now we want my guy to move down. I want him to have a 2 gap so it can move around. So he gets around here, gets around here. I want it to go around here, and then I want to go like to there. In fact, let's just delete that. Let's make it so that you can get down here. Put a bit of a thing there. Goes round. Goes round here. Now, I want to put the thing that is going to get to there, so he has to go basically around here, around here, around here, around here. You can move up and down and avoid something, duck, but it'll make it more hard. So we'll have some sort of obstacles around here, and he gets to the flag, which is going to be there. So let's put the note. Now I want to press Alt when I'm doing this, because if I put it on, it's going to, oh, hang on a minute, these are my notes. Wrong, not notes. Exit. So let's put the exit there. Let's get some notes on. These are what he gets score from, so what I've won there right at the beginning. A nice easy one. Let's put one here, put one here, put one there, put one there, put one there, one in the corner, one in the corner. So all of these are going to give him points as he moves around. So we've got some, we've got his exit, we've got his note, we've got his wall. Let's add the mobs. Well, let's add me actually. I want to put me in the middle there. Safe. And let's have the monsters. Now these guys, I want these little ones. These wander backwards and forwards like this. So I want one going there, and I want one going there. So this one goes that way and that one. So you've got to navigate. Just trying to get this lined up. Just using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Now I want my other monsters, spiders. Stagger them a bit. Let's have a spider there, and a spider there. This is a bit hard, doesn't it? And then let's have another one there. This guy bounces backwards and forwards here, and let's have one there. You can easily avoid this guy because you can just go above it, same as this one. You just go, well, you can go above this one, but then you've got these two spiders to get around. It's not quite as straightforward as you think, this level. This is the first level set, but I've not given the actions for these guys. They're not going to move anywhere at the moment. So let's give them a quick little movement. So I'm opening this guy up. So what we want is, when this guy's created, we're going to use this quite a lot, he's going to move. And we can game to move. He's not going to go up and down, this guy. He's going to move left and right. And I'll give him a speed of 2. Quite slow. So this guy starts moving in a direction. He'll either go that way or that way. It's random. Because if you tick both, he just picks one. And then we want, if it hits the wall, so he has a collision with a wall, then what does it do? It reverses the direction. I could put bounce. I might try that to bounce. There's another one, bounce, here, but I'll just put that for now. Now so this one, this monster here, I want that when it's created, this one's going to go up and down, speed 2. I also want it when it has a collision with a wall to change direction vertically. There we are. Let's have a quick look. It won't play very good, but you'll get an idea. La 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 la. Let's have a look what happens. Okay, so these bouncing backwards and forwards, that bounces. This one's stuck here. What's this one doing? Stuck for some reason. So these are bouncing, these are bouncing, these are bouncing. It's this guy here. I think he's probably got stuck in the wall. Let's have a look. This is why it's a good idea. You can see he's stuck in the wall a bit. What's it doing? Oh yeah, I've got him this time. Let's move them away from the wall a bit. Zooming right in. Let's just see if that works. I'm just going to try it again. It's a bit of debugging there for you. I was using the Alt button while I was moving that around, by the way. So yeah, he's moving. He's free. He's free. The notes are in place. I'm there, but I can't move myself yet. I'm trying to move myself. Can't do Alt yet, but these guys are all moving. Bump, bump, nice and gently, does it? And that works smooth as silk. Right, let's have a look at the time. I've been recording now 15 minutes. So this is my first one. I'm just going to stop here.